What is going on, everybody? It's Alex back with another video, and today I want to talk about Saints Row 5 and when we're actually gonna see the game. I know that all of you guys are just as excited to see the game as I am, and basically at this point everybody knows that we have confirmation that the game exists. We know that a new Saints Row game, a AAA title, is going to be at least shown to us at some point this year. And, given all the details and everything and speculation that we've been given, most people seem to be under the belief that we are actually going to get the release of the game at some point holiday season this year. And I've done plenty of speculation on what I think the game is going to look like, whether it's going to be more like the old school Saints Row games or whether it's going to look like the new ones. I've talked about online content. I've really just done a whole lot of speculation, but for this video, I kind of want to put all of that to the side in terms of what the game is going to look like, and I really want to get into the details of when we're actually going to see the game. Because once again, it is very fun to speculate, and especially when you have rumors and details and things of this sort, it's fun to kind of piece things together to build, the vision of the game in your mind. But unfortunately, right now, we really don't know anything about the game. There hasn't even been a rumor about the game. It's all just been this one little thing where they've confirmed that there was a Saints Row game in the works. So I think right now the best thing to talk about, the best thing to speculate on is when we're actually going to see the game, when it's going to get announced, and then when we're actually going to get the release date. Now there seems to be plenty of discussion on this, and I find it kind of interesting, but a lot of people actually think that it's going to be somewhat of a stealth release or something like that, or not even necessarily a release, but an announcement that's just like, oh hey, here's the trailer, or just something on Twitter, something like that. A lot of people seem to think that's how it's going to work. Although anything is possible, I genuinely just don't believe that Saints Row or, Volition is big enough to be able to warrant that. If Rockstar Games wanted to drop a game where they just, stealth released it or just randomly threw out a trailer, something like that, of course they could do it. They are so massive that they can literally do anything they want, and it's still going to be an amazing game. It's going to break the internet no matter what happens. Volition, Saints Row, yes, it is a AAA title. There's a lot of money behind it. It is a big game, and there is a decent sized following. It's not as active of a game as, something like GTA is, and I just really think they would be giving up so much on that. So I genuinely believe there's going to have to be some level of marketing for this game. Now, I don't think it's going to be multiple years of marketing or anything like that. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I think the game is going to be announced at some point this year, and it's also going to be released later this year. But I think there is going to be an event, unveiling, and then there's going to be a series of trailers and maybe dev talks. And I know Volition, they actually do some studio live streams and stuff like that. I think they're going to talk about a lot of stuff and show a lot of stuff off leading up to the release. And then I think holiday season it's going to release. So basically, given these circumstances, these parameters of my hypothetical release date, assuming I'm right, that means that we're going to have to get an announcement really within the next couple months. So if you guys have been piecing this together and kind of pick up on what I'm saying, I've mentioned that I don't think that Saints Row 5 is going to be unveiled in just some random fashion. I think they are going to use the hype, make sure eyes are on them, and then, lay out the news. But I also think that it's going to have to happen within the next few months. So I don't think they're just going to randomly put something out. I think they're going to utilize an event. And realistically, since they are, as I mentioned, a AAA game, big studio, there's a lot of money behind it, they can really go to some of the biggest events and potentially steal the show, get a lot of people watching and a lot of people talking about them. And if you look at the events, there's really only two conventions that kind of fit that list every year. One of which obviously being the biggest one, which is E3, and the other one is the Game Awards. So if you guys didn't know, E3 takes place in June. This year it is June 9th through the 11th, which is basically exactly 3 months away. And then the Game Awards, although I couldn't find an official date for 2020 Game Awards, last year it took place in December, which means the game should probably either be out or be right around the corner from releasing, meaning there's absolutely no way they would be unveiling the game at the Game Awards this year. So taking everything into account, weighing out all the options, it seems kind of like a no-brainer that we are going to be seeing Saints Row 5, or whatever they decide to call it, the new Saints Row game, officially revealed at E3 2020. Coming from a marketing standpoint and building up the hype and everything going that way, I just find this to be most likely, and I would be genuinely surprised if anything else happens. Now, there is one caveat to this. Unfortunately, there's a little something called the coronavirus, or I believe COVID-19 going on right now. And it's taking out a lot of, events and things of this sort. So unfortunately, if in a few months, by the time E3 rolls around, things are still not, being better handled, things are still not under control, obviously, E3 may be completely shut down. So obviously that would kind of change things up. We don't know what would happen there, but assuming things are at least a little better under control and we're able to get, studio heads and representatives and actual, the conference of E3 is still taking place, I would say like 95%, we will definitely see Saints Row 5 or the new Saints Row game at E3 this year. But obviously this is all just speculation on my part. Even though I am very confident about it, I'm not 100% sure. I don't have any insider information that you guys don't have. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comments. Do you think I'm right? Do you think it's going to happen around E3? Or do you think they're just going to stealth release it? Do you think they're going to do something crazy? What do you guys think they're going to do? Obviously, make sure to let me know down in the comments. But that does it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe. If you haven't already, thank you guys for the support. Peace out. Only got one eye, but even I can't see that when it comes to this wall-hunting mercenary game in a world of nobodies, I'm the #1 name. Elvis, Helios, Pandora, and space. My motto wheel takes me all over the place. And wherever I go, I'm in minds and hearts. Don't need to climb stairs when I'm climbing these charts. Lilith, Roland, the Solitude dudes didn't come to my birthday party. Rude, but they all found time to go fight the warrior. Like this can be like some